Okay, I think we're live. What's up, Impact Nation? Welcome to another weekly episode of the Impact Players. You know what this is. Basically, we invite a beautiful, amazing person who's crushing it in the online world, but more importantly, utilizing impact to grow, and really has a big focus on impact. And today is no different. My God, I think we're just having better guest after better guest after better guest. It's a real blessing. This is a gentleman who is actually part of a very small team who actually is behind the launch of some household names, that people that you know that not too long ago nobody knew their names. And then Hank and some of his friends really launched their careers. Those people are such as Mel Robbins and a little someone you might have heard of called Grant Cardone. So that's really, really, really cool. And I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. Hank, thanks for being here, bro.
What's up, Akbar? How are you, man?
Good, man. Good. And as usual, if anyone has any questions, feel free. I don't know. I'm kind of putting Hank on the spot. We didn't talk about this part, but I'm sure you'd be open to some questions, maybe.
Of course. Why are you not going to cop to everybody that we work together, that I'm coaching you? Why is it so dark in here? I hate it.
Yeah, I don't know. And now, yes, I'm actually working. You might be like, are you facing like a window or something?
I mean, I have windows.
Yeah. And now I'm working with Hank and his team, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm basically like a maniac. Well, a lot like what my mom has been telling me my whole life. I'm a lot like a maniac with my content. One of the main things that these guys have been. Well, hey, Hank, why don't you tell them, because you're the expert?
Well, what do you want to tell them?
Well, basically, I was just saying, I was working with you guys, and I was just like telling them that one of the main things that we're trying to work on is like with me and my content, I'm kind of like a maniac all over the place, and you guys are basically trying to teach me how to talk about one topic, and I can go astray a little bit, but then I got to bring it back. And a lot of times I'll just go on tangents, and I'll be like, oh, that tree's so beautiful. That's amazing. Isn't God great? And I'll just kind of like trip out on that for a little bit, for example.
Very common act. We did talk about this when we first started talking. I was like, super smart people with a lot to say. Obviously in the media, that's not the best. I was going to say skill, but in this realm, on this, using this camera, that's not it. That might win you customers in the room. It might make people look at you and go, "Oh, he's energetic." In the media, if you're not laser focused on what you're talking about, if you're not making a video that has a singular idea, singular premise, a singular thing you're proving, it's just too splintered. The media, the camera, media coaching fixes all that. Honestly, it actually improves your business in real time as well. Even though those superpowers of, everybody loves my energy and I'm the same way, dude. Like, trust me, when I got on camera the first time, when I started, I helped launch Oxygen, the cable network, and somebody didn't show up literally on the first day of when they flipped the switch from no cable channel to the cable channel, and I had to go on air. And I thought just showing up as I was on air was this is like 1999, 2000. There was no cameras, there was no social media, and it was like, I suck, dude, but you got to learn to not talk like we talk at parties, and you have to learn to talk clearly, concisely, and with a point. It's a thing. It's a challenge.
Yeah, it's interesting. When I bumped into your course on Facebook before we even started working together, and I'm like, that's interesting. Like, okay, these guys launched Grant Cardone, this and that, and they're talking about some interesting things. So I actually bought your course, and I'm watching it like the first lesson. I'm like, I've actually never seen anything so laser focused before. And it was just like, it was refreshing. It was just like, it was so singular, and I'm just like, damn, dude, it was very striking. It was very striking to me.
Yeah, it's a skill. It's tough to do, actually, because I think people like you and me and people that are fast paced or ADD or whatever the problem or the skill is, you think because it's boring to you, it's boring to someone else. You're like, oh, I'm going to add this, I'm going to add that, I'm going to add all this flavor. And in real life, at a party, in real life, closing a deal with somebody, everyone knows what you're talking about. On camera, everyone's like, what is he talking about?
That's actually that's actually a really good example, because like I get caught up in this trap, and let's be honest with you. Like, let me tell you, like, you have all these like little people with very small audiences, right? And they do Facebook Lives. Let me ask you something. In your opinion, like, what percentage of those people do you see who are actually really good at like focusing on one thing?
None.
Yeah, I was gonna say like maybe 1%, right?
Yeah, nobody. Facebook Live has literally taken the entire history of how radio rolled into television, rolled into online, and Facebook Live, this idea that you can just turn on your phone and talk ruin that idea of, you got to understand the lineage. When you watch any late night show, and I've seen many that lately, I know there's this Lily Singh or
Lily
something.
Singh, yeah.
I think almost everybody, I'd be surprised if Lily didn't. I even know even the parody versions of like Eric Andre, they have a microphone on the desk. That's this tradition of radio, which is like, this is about me communicating a singular idea with my voice and my intention. Like that's been kept true up into the phone, and everyone's like throwing everything to the wind, and they're just talking about 1,000 things, and nobody's on point. Nobody's talking about any one thing. They're not making a point. They don't have a point. They don't know what they're saying, and everyone's lost the understanding we've had for decades of, this is a skill like any other. Like, you got to understand before you press record, what are you saying? What's the intention? Who are you talking to? What one person are you trying to make a connection with? Not everybody thinks in this idea of, hey, Facebook, who are you talking to? It's just me watching. And then I never understood that. Who's Facebook? It's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned Lily Singh, man. She only came about recently, like a few years ago. Matter of fact, what was it? No. This has been quite a journey because, this was during my first marriage. I remember I was going through some tough times with my ex-wife, and I actually started watching Lily Singh on YouTube. This was, I don't know, must be like 7 years ago or something, a while back. Yeah. And she had whatever. She was just starting out. I remember I even talked to her back then, and I entered a contest, and that because she was accessible. I guess Grant Cardone and Mel Robbins a handful of years ago. And to see her go from like a no one to like this global phenomenon. One thing I noticed from her, maybe you can give your optics on it, but I just noticed she was so dedicated, worked so hard every day. She just never gave up. I mean, everything was against her. She comes from a very traditional Indian family. Turns out she's bisexual, which is like a big no-no in that culture. Very kind of like very taboo in that culture, very much so. So, well, first of all, actually even being on camera in that culture to be a personality is like iffy as is. Then to be bisexual, and then to be public about it, forget about it. So she had like everything against her. And to see her make it, man, is like kind of really a beautiful thing.
Yeah, no. And as you said, it's not just the work of doing it, which it is. And I think a lot of people do that. I do see a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs and business people that I work with now, having started my career working with talent, like people already on TV and launching shows that I used to do just as a TV producer and development executive. But now working with people, I see people just putting in the time and saying, okay, I'm going to make videos. But guess what? If you don't watch yourself back, what are you doing? How are you actually getting better? It's like if you're going, you see these crazy people at the gym or whatever, and they have the worst form in the world. You're not doing, like, just going to the gym. That's awesome, and you're above the people that aren't going, but you don't have the right form. Like, you're actually you're probably hurting yourself now that you're doing it wrong. Like, just showing up and just doing it. That's the baseline. Now you got to do it right. Now you got to take the time to. Why do you think they have mirrors in the gym? Why do you think they have mirrors in the gym?
These are great parables, actually.
Why do you think they have mirrors in the gym? So you can. Because if you ain't lifting right, you're hurting yourself. You have to see you. If you're not watching your videos and making sure you're coming across okay, that you're getting your message across to you. That's so powerful. We never had this dude. I was dying my whole life until the phone switched over in the 2000s. Where it's like, now you can watch yourself? That was literally impossible for the whole world. You don't understand how things have changed. You have the ability to see yourself as other people see you and experience you. No. Like, make a video and then don't watch it for like a month or two and put it back on and be like, what is this guy talking about?
No, you're right. It's interesting because I just gave a TED talk, my first ever TEDx talk. And with my Facebook Lives, there's zero practice, right? I basically journal what happens throughout my day, and then at the end of the day, I report it. There's no practice. With this TEDx talk, I would practice, and I started watching myself. I'm like, damn, okay, wait. And it's exactly like that, bro. It's exactly what you're saying. Like, even like a coach watching a sports team, like, okay, no, that's no good, that's no good, that's no good, that's no good. But the thing is, you could do it with yourself. And a lot of people, well, here, why don't maybe you can give everybody a tip, because you know what a lot of people are saying right now? oh yeah, but I hate the sound of, and I do too, but I hate the sound of my voice. I hate watching myself speak. Obviously, it's very important, as you just said. What would you tell them who just like don't want to do it because it's uncomfortable?
Your business is reliant on it. There's no shortcut to this.
No.
Are you doing the books? Are you making sure the sales are coming in? If you're not getting better on camera and repping your business through this lens, you're not doing your job. This is your job today. This is where the money is.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Like, and I'm still learning and I'm still straying from it. It's been, challenging for me. But when I do a Facebook Live and it's a lot more focused, the reactions I get are a lot more powerful than when I'm kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
So it definitely works. What do you see people doing? Like, I don't know, what do you call, I guess like mini influencers, or I don't know what you call people just trying to make, like, kind of who have a little bit of an audience. But what do you recommend to people who have a little bit of an audience or who are just kind of starting doing like content or whatever? Like, what do you see, kind of a blanket statement, what do you see everyone kind of doing wrong besides the singular idea?
Well, outside of everybody treating this as they're at some kind of speech and there's thousands of people there and they're talking to this collective group. Outside of that idea, there is, like you just said, dude, I'm cringing when you're saying it. There's no reason not to spend 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes prepping. What's the 5 things you're going to cover when you talk? Dude, I worked in TV my whole life, so it's just mind-boggling. It's just so funny to hear you say that, which is like, I wouldn't show up I don't show up to a video shoot or a podcast or anything and not being like, here's what I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's the rundown? Hey, when you see the guests, when you see the hosts with their blue cards, that's the rundown of the show. There's thousands of man hours that go into those shows where somebody's pre-interviewed, interviewed again, read the books, briefed the hosts on what they're going to say, the questions to ask. They already know the answers. Yeah. It's all been done ahead of time.
That's actually really beautiful what you're saying. And I'll put a little asterisk. It's not like I just go fresh live. I do look at my points and I kind of think about it for a second. But, it's interesting to think about it through that lens. It's like, wait a minute. There's people, your Facebook Live is going to be 20 minutes or whatever, all right? There's people who are taking valuable time away from their business, away from their family, away from everything to listen to you. And it's interesting, man, because a lot of people, what I call the keyboard warriors, they'll say a bunch of crap on their keyboards, but they'll never say it to your face, right? So it's like you have all these people who are literally like standing in front of you. It could be in real life because they're watching you, right? But they're just somewhere else, and they're dedicating 20 minutes to you. How are you are that? Or are you is it all just a big joke still?
I literally think what I find now coaching people one-on-one, as far as the idea that lack of prep really is just a lack of self-esteem, that people don't think they have what it takes to make that actual connection with that single person. So they rather just kind of like go through the motions and how all this high level motivational advice. Like the reason so many people sound and feel the same, because everybody's doing this high level motivation. Just get back in there and do it. Hustle, grind, all the hustle porn. Everybody's doing the same thing, dude. It's like, say what you're up to. Like, talk about shit that matters to you, dude. That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, you're right. No, a lot. So I'm going to trip on this for a second, right? Because like this is something that I kind of get upset. It's a lot of the blind leading the blind out there, right? Because this is if you want to take a look at a history lesson, correct? Let me know what you think about this. All right. So the internet. So how do people do business, right? Well, for centuries, it was like brick and mortar. That's it. You had to go to a store or something like that. Or if it was local, maybe like, you can deliver like milk or whatever. That was business for a very long time. Then mail was invented, okay, which was not too long ago. And then people could do business via mail. Then I think the radio came first. The radio was invented. Now people can sell on the radio. Then TV, people can sell on TV. That was not too long ago. Then the internet came out. Now, the internet didn't actually become popular until only roughly like 10 years ago, which is when the original iPhone came out. And now people can have the internet in their hand. It was still super slow. You couldn't download shit. It was like 2G or whatever, or 1G or whatever it was. Meaning this is so new, and we are all beta testers. In history, we will be considered beta users, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, if you wanted to open a retail store right now, I grew up in retail. It's going to cost you for a little Lala corner store, candy store. It's going to cost you $50,000 to $100,000 to open it. But on the internet right now, any Tom, Dick, or Harry can literally wake up, change his Facebook status. I'm a digital marketer. I'm an amazing digital marketer. Boom, $0, 5 seconds, I'm in business, right? That's the blind leading the blind. Now, the people literally, and this is a timeless concept, people who know the least are often the loudest. Oh, no, no. Oh, you should do things this way. This is how you should hire. Oh, I saw this meme, and now I'm just going to repeat it. Blah, blah, blah. And it's just like the blind leading the blind. And I'm just like, well, wait a minute, dude. You understand? One thing I like to tell people is how lucky they are, right? Because your competition is so freaking bad right now. It's so useless because your competition is literally any Tom, Dick, and Harry who doesn't understand business. Because a lot of people looking online and they're like still mystified, right? It's kind of like when the camera originally came out, people thought they were scared of it. They thought that it would take a part of their soul. They didn't want to take a picture. Like, no. But people are treating the internet like that. Like, oh, does this thing really work? Oh, can you really make money off of it? Almost like they're cheating. Oh, can you really make money online? Like they're treating it like a game. Like it doesn't exist. Let me dip my toe in there. You know what I mean? But what frustrates me is that business is business is business. The same fundamentals that work offline, that have been working offline for centuries, since the beginning of time, work online. And right now, it's like no matter what industry you're in, it's for the taking. Let me ask you, who's the king of your industry? Like whatever you do, what are you, a Facebook marketer, a copy dude, whatever the hell you do, who's the king or queen of that? More than likely, you can, if you really wanted to, you could actually take over that spot relatively quickly. You can't do that right now in retail. It's not like you can open a store and start competing with Walmart. Good freaking luck. Or right now, no matter what industry you're in, like, dude, like right now, like, you know, we just recently pivoted to, you know, being like the coach's coach, where we help people launch a 7-figure coaching business. It's not going to be that hard, you know, if I wanted to be like, you know, one of the top guys in this game, because who's out there really? Who's out there in any industry? So like my thing is strike now, right? Because like when Jeff Bezos, right, decides that, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to do my own course. It's going to cost $10 a month. I'm going to teach everyone how to crush them on Amazon. You see what I'm saying? When the big players start coming in, it's going to be a little bit more challenging to compete, although you can because, you know, your personality. Anyway, that's just kind of some of the thoughts I have about the landscape of the online world. I don't know what you think about that.
You know what? I agree. And I think the only real way to break through that clutter and the noise you're describing, Akbar, is to get super granular. I think people don't want to talk about the specifics of what they do and how they do it. They're giving away their secrets. So to me, it's not about giving away secrets. It's about adding value. And the more real you get doing that, that's the only way to get real attention. Where did you take a bathroom break? Where'd you go? Hey, Hank, how does one get out of his bubble to do his first Facebook Live?
Hey.
Come on.
Hey, sorry, man. You know what? I have a biological issue. I can't, when I have to go to the bathroom, I can't wait, unfortunately.
Well, then that was the fastest bathroom I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, I'm because I've got a disorder, so I've got it down to an art. I'm like this, and I washed my hands thoroughly.
Wow, impressive.
And I also.
How to get out of your bubble and do your first Facebook Live, dude? What are you talking about, dude? That's the thing. Just start and then watch it. Just do a video and watch it. You don't even have to. Getting out of the bubble, it means just press record, make a video for 30 seconds, talk. Whether you post it or don't post it, watch it back. That you have the gym. It's on your phone right now. Don't be scared. All you're talking about is that you're scared. You fear that you're not good enough and you're not going to say something.
Yeah. How do you get over that? How do you get over
it?
So many people keep saying like, I'm going to do it, but then they don't, they make excuses.
Because here's the thing. I don't want you to go live. I don't want you to do Facebook Lives. Why put the pressure of the mega performance of people showing up and it's one time? It's like, no, make a video, do it for 30 seconds, do it for 5 minutes, make the video, watch it back, do it again. You have a chance to actually become good at this. You don't have to look at this as like, oh, I got to go to Madison Square Garden and do it for the first time. No. You get to be in your bedroom and no one watches. Not like now with your bedroom, like, oh, I'm live. People should not be live. Stop going live.
I was scared shitless, bro, going up to the TEDx thing. I've spoken at masterminds. Bro, the first time I went to do a public talk was in San Francisco. I swear to God, my entire left arm went numb. I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was gonna have a heart attack and collapse on stage. I literally, I'm like, I'm gonna die on stage. Like, that's kind of sucks, but it is challenging, bro. But one thing that one piece of advice or one insight that I'll give is, you know what? It's not the easiest thing in the world. And I mean, you super get used to it. Like, now going Facebook Live is like nothing for me. But I'll tell you this though, man, it's hella profitable. I mean, it's super profitable, and it's like what would you? It's like, what are the alternatives, bro? You want to, like, my brother is depressed. He's at a job he hates. He was telling me what he does. I wanted to shoot myself from morning to night, bro. This is a well-educated man. From morning to night, he's processing invoices. And he was telling me step by step. I'm like, stop. I'm going to cry if you keep going on like this. You know, what's the alternative? Like all due respect to everyone, like, shut up. Like, I'm scared of going Facebook Live. Like, all due respect, I love you, but shut up. It's so profitable. You're impacting so many people. What's the alternative? You want to go process invoices? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean no disrespect. It's a little slap you in the face with a cold wet fish. It's a little bit of tough love. I hope no one gets, minds or is offended by that. But I don't know. That's how. What do you think, Hank?
I mean, it doesn't have to be that scary. You get to make a video and then post it. Like, yeah. You get to craft this thing. You're not doing this in public for the first time.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to feel like it feels to you, because you don't have to accept. Facebook Live is not the only way to make a video. Stop going live.
That's a great point, actually, because you can keep doing. Like, I know people that have done like 100 takes until they're satisfied with it.
Great. So,
you keep doing it until you're happy, and then put it out, and eventually it'll become easy. Like anything else, it'll become easier and easier and easier.
That's it. No pressure.
That was a good question, so I appreciate that. We got Brian Page over here. Hank is.
There he is.
The guy behind all the guys. Nice. That's a good one. I like that. That should be a tagline, Hank. I'm the guy behind the guy.
From Brian.
That's a good one. Cool, man. If any of you guys have any questions about messaging, branding, like how to make your competition irrelevant, Hank is obviously the master. He launched the Oxygen Network, one of the guys who launched Grant Cardone, Mel Robbins, and all those cool guys. Tell us about that, bro. Like, tell us about some of these, I think that'd be really cool. Tell us about some of these big players that you dealt with when they were kind of like a no one. Like, tell us what kind of problems they went through, because like that might be inspiring.
I mean, similar to what Saad's saying, it's the same thing. As Mel's whole brand is built around anxiety now, right? The 5-second rule, how to act in the face of that fear and that anxiety. And that is exactly what your phone and the camera is. This anxiety to go live, this anxiety to record yourself or say something meaningful and have other people judge it. And learning to build that muscle, getting Mel through the fear of having someone not like her, having to course correct someone in front of other people and not be loved by every single person, that fear was the only thing holding Mel back. And pushing Mel through that was the secret to her, for her personal growth, because it meant now she could get on camera and say what she had to say to be heard. So maybe it is tough love like you had, Akbar. Maybe that is your brand. Maybe that's who you are. Maybe that's how you actually dispense advice. You got to get used to doing that. And helping Mel overcome that personal fear was the secret to her now having a daytime talk show.
That's crazy, bro. So it's interesting. I heard from Oprah once. She said, I've interviewed all the top people in the world, right? Presidents, popes, like everybody, right? She's like, each and every single time, I hope I'm not misquoting, but it was pretty much this. She said, after every single interview with the best of the best, everyone said the exact same words as soon as the camera went off. And that was, how'd I do? Did I do it right? And when I heard that, I'm like, man, that's profound. Because like, if you have all these top players and they're worried about it, well, then they're not much any different than us.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's the same, right? I mean, when I started as a TV producer in the late 80s, early 90s, and I really just started to study the craft of performance and producing and the media and how it all worked. And I was super fascinated with comedians, first and foremost, because you could buy their records and cassettes and you could really study them. And even musical performers and hearing people say the same thing that you just said, which was every time you would hear an interview with somebody, and I think it was Barry Manilow of all people was like the question of like he's done those songs, been doing those songs his entire life, and like, do you still get nervous? And he's like, if I don't get nervous before I go out on stage, something would be wrong.
Oh, that's a good point. Like, there's only one person. It's funny. There's only one person I've ever met who doesn't get nervous, and that's Brian. Brian says he never gets out of bed. That's crazy. I can't even that's a superpower for sure. But cool, man. So like, what? It's like we're talking about granular ideas, single ideas. You helped launch Mel Robbins, the Oxygen Network, Grant Cardone. What are like some of the biggest pitfalls that you see people get into, and you're like, damn, dude, this person has so much talent. This person could have made such a big impact in the world, but this got in the way.
I think, again, the highest level version of that answer is it's this fear of taking whatever risk that is for you personally, because you don't want to look like you're going to get it wrong or you're going to fail, and not putting yourself out there to that level where you're actually stretching yourself. That's a mistake. And I know getting on camera and talking about what you're up to and what your business is up to and how business deals are going and your life and what's going on, it feels really risky. But we expect that level of authenticity in the people we're doing business with today. That's what social media has changed. The expectation is radically changed now. We know you have a phone. We know you can talk. We know we want to. People give us I have more access into Will Smith's life right now than I ever thought I would.
What do you do with Will Smith?
Just following him on Instagram.
Ah, okay, yeah. He's very personal, isn't he? Yeah.
Oh my God! And he's helpful, and he's helping us, and he's giving us a peek into his life. And it's like that. When Will Smith is doing that, everybody needs to do that. Yeah. Will Smith gets it. That's the expectation now. That's not a special performance he's doing. He understands that living this part of his life out loud and letting us in, you have to do the same thing. And people people are going to say to me, because I've told them, I told them how I do my Facebook Lives. I document all the cool things that happen to me, right? Like I talk to Hank and I learned this, like all these types of things that, this person says to me, well, my life's just not that interesting. I can't do that. And I said, well, listen, you got to change your life a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people who hear you say that right now, I know what they're thinking. They're thinking, yeah, my life's not that interesting. I don't think anybody, I don't think anyone's going to care. What would you say about that? I don't agree.
Well, okay. So here's the better question. In other words, they have imposter syndrome, right?
In other words, they're saying they don't want to talk about the fight they're having with their spouse. They don't want to talk about the fight they're having with their business partner. They don't want to talk about the tough clients that are tough to land. They don't want to talk about that. They don't find that interesting because they don't want to put that on the table for discussion. They're lying. That's a lie. That's fear and manifesting itself as saying, well, you're not describing me. I don't have that type of life.
I'll tell you something. I do a bad job at this, to be honest. I need to do more of this. We share a lot of wins. Majority of we talk about wins, but whenever I do share, like something went wrong, like we had a problem, we had like a night, like something negative. I tell you, people really like the authenticity of that. They really like that. I would say sometimes more than the positive stuff. And the other thing I'd say is that, like, if someone loves you besides your mother, because your mom's gonna love you even if you're a degenerate. Like my mother loved me for so many years. And if somebody besides your mother loves you, that means you're lovable, which means that other people can love you as well. And I think a lot of people they don't believe it. But I like what you're saying, Hank. It's like, well, just kind of do it, and just kind of put it out there. But I think that's really practical advice too. That, like, okay, if you're afraid of the Facebook Live, don't do it. Keep recording videos until you're proud of it and you like it, and then you can put it out there.
But take a risk with the content.
Yeah.
Talk about things you were like, should a business be talking about this? The answer is yes, because now you're letting me in behind the veil. Okay. Should we do some, I know we're kind of running out of time, but should we do some live training? All right. So why don't I do this? Because, okay, so here's the exercise, because I'm a little, we're working on getting me a little bit more focused. So how about this? How about I do a practice, like 3-minute Facebook Live about one topic, and then you can kind of love it.
give some tips on it. All right. So the topic will be, I had one. Hold on a second. It's okay. So it's about, it'll start with, it's about how to like get great results with affiliate marketing. Fair enough. Is that good enough?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's time this. We won't make it too long. Hold on. I just want to go nuts here. Do I have a timer thing on my? Oh, I do, and it's a shortcut. How do you like that? Okay, ready? All right. What's up, guys? Psych. I know we can't say guys. We'll talk to one person. So that's one tip, right, guys? So you can't say guys, all right? Because you want to talk to one person. Okay, that's what Hank told me. Or listen, guys. See, it's a natural habit. It's such a natural habit. Okay. All right, let's do this. All right, listen up. You're screwing up and leaving a lot of money on the table because you're doing your affiliate sales all wrong. And you're not doing affiliate sales, but you're doing this wrong. The situation is this. You've got some course or service or whatever, and you got a bunch of people ready to promote that, right? You're like, okay, cool, guys, go promote it. At Wednesday 5, just go tell everyone to go buy it. That's horrible. I'm going to give you a perfect example. It's like me hiring a gardener with no tools, right? And be like, okay, cool. Go plant my whole garden. I want an orange tree. I want a strawberry. I want this beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's going to be the cover of a magazine. Wait a minute. They've got no tools. Now they're digging around with their hands a little bit. You open the door. It looks like someone ran over your front lawn. That's the biggest problem I see in the marketplace right now is no one's equipping anyone for success. You think that like everyone's a genie and they're going to go like this and they're magically going to come up with email templates and they're magically going to figure out what to say to their audience. Most people suck. Matter of fact, 99.9% of people suck at messaging, copy, positioning. You need to be that. And if you're not, you need to hire a copywriter, get those emails ready, get those images, get a graphics expert, get that graphics ready, give them a package. Or you're going to promote me, set them up for success, not failure. You do that with a package. Here are the tools to succeed. Now, here's everything you need. Post this at 5 o'clock on Instagram. Post this at 3 o'clock. And now make it as easy as humanly freaking possible. It goes back to human psychology, right? Copy, paste. It's like a child, right? It's like if you want something done, it's like, can you please wipe your feet before you come in the house? Well, you got to put a mat there. You got to put a freaking mat there, right? Equip people with the tools there for success. Otherwise, you're just expecting miracles every day. Then when it doesn't work, you get all upset. But if you think about it, that's kind of like a psychopath because how the hell is this supposed to work in the first place? Equip them for success. You're going to win. They're going to win. It's a win-win situation, and you're going to keep growing from this. You're going to enjoy yourself more. You're going to make more. It's going to be less stressed. That's the tip for today. Implement it, and we'll talk soon. Peace. I don't know, something like that. No, thank you. I was like about 2 minutes. Bob. What'd you think?
I like it. Here's what I would change, and I've been trying to tell you to do this too. Start with the takeaway at the top.
See, I forgot. I forgot. Yeah. So then I would have said, so the takeaway I would have said,
Hey, welcome to my Facebook Live. Thanks for joining me today. I have you in mind right now because I've been making the biggest slip-ups with my affiliates, and I know you're making the same mistake. Here's what you have to do. You have to baby your affiliates. You have to do the work for your affiliates. You've gone into your business, and now I can now I know what the framework is. So now you're gonna set up. Now the story is gonna be the work. Write the template. Find the copyright. Tell them when to book. Now tell the story around how I'm mixing my personal story of how something failed for me with the advice you can use in your life. But I'm telling you how to start at the top with the actionable advice.
Right, exactly. It's like my sister. I asked her to do a couple of things for me this morning. She's like, "Hey, by the way, this is a true story. This happened today." She's visiting me from out of town. She's like, "You know, I don't have a car, right?" I'm like, "Oh, well, here's a car." You see what I'm saying? So that's a good way to mix it, right? Cool, man. Awesome. Cool, guys. We're gonna wrap up. So if you have any questions for Hank, let me please type here. But Hank, I got a few things to say before we end, but I always end by asking the guests one question. If God forbid this was your last minute on earth, and right now you have one last thing to just tell people right here, right now, what would that be?
Back to Saad's post, that is the heart of everybody's question. how do I just take that first step? I literally, for some reason that comes, I've heard that thousands of times. That fear of people judging us, that's holding back your entire business. That's the reason you won't make a video. It's the reason you won't do most of the things you want to do. And that little tiny bit of shame, of self-doubt, of not feeling worthy enough, you're going to let that stop your entire growth, more money, more happiness, more success. Just take that risk. The thing that feels like the biggest risk, take that risk. It's the answer to everything. That's the answer. Do it.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. Yeah. I mean, so many times, it's not easy. Like sometimes, to like, it's risky to like put yourself out there. You say you don't feel comfortable. You don't want your family and friends seeing it. I mean, like I myself, man, like I come from a conservative family, and I mean, I have family members cringe when I talk. Like, first of all, they don't even want my face to be in public. But then when I talk about things like addiction and things like that, they just want to bury their head in the sand. And it's been challenging for me because I don't want to hurt anybody, but at the end of the day, we've been honored to help a lot of people, from being open. I get surprised when I get messages, dude, I no longer drink. I had a drinking problem. I no longer drink because of you. You know what I mean? And I get messages like this a lot, like these sort of messages, which is weird because it's kind of like indirectly just from being open, I guess. But it's good to, I think, also talk about. It's good to also talk about, I think, the greater good. Gaffer is asking, Hank, are you at the NAC in Brigham and Dubai? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to Birmingham. No, I haven't been invited, but I would like to go.
What is that? What is it?
I'm speaking this Friday in Orlando, but it's mostly for network marketers. So.
Oh, nice. Oh, is that? Oh, that's at
Rank Makers Live with Ray Higdon.
Ray, yeah. I want to ask you, see if you're free later on November to see if you want to talk at my mastermind too.
I would love to, dude.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'll hit you up offline. Well, awesome, guys. Also, I just want to tell you something. And okay, so I want to make one announcement. But Hank, any closing thoughts?
No. See, look at Saad. Saad, so what I want you to take away here is what you saw Saad there. It's like when you share that thing that feels like it's holding you back, and you give someone permission to take that leap. You talking about addiction. You talking about problems in your business. That's going to help somebody step up. That's all people are dying to see, is for you to let them in. Take that risk on camera.
Hank, you did it, man. You've inspired one person, at least at minimum one person here today who had a fear of going live and is promising to record one today. Look at that, man. Isn't that cool? Like, just how cool is this, man? This person's like on the other side of the world or wherever, right? And, might even change the internet, man. Right? You got to take advantage of it. I mean, how crazy. Look at this impact live.
Awesome.
Well, guys, we're going to end on this. Here's the situation. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. CST, I've made a good amount of announcements in my life. I've done content every single day, rain or shine, broken leg, headache, fight with the wife, whatever the case is. I'll put out content every single day, like the postman, rain or shine. Tomorrow, seriously, is an announcement that I'm most proud to make. This has been years in the making. This has been the blood, sweat, and the tears. This has been, the pain and suffering from living in an electrical closet, the whole journey to where we are today. I feel like it all comes together for the announcement we're making tomorrow. We've been working really hard on it. We've got some of the top names in the industry on it. And we're all about the impact. We're all about helping you make more so you can give more. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. CST, we've had the honor of helping a lot of people make 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, and now even 8 figures. Tomorrow, the Make More, Give More movement enters a whole different sphere. And it is, for the first time ever, really going to be accessible to each and every one of you. So I can't help but smile during just saying these words. Keep an eye out. Put it in your calendar. It's going to be posted on my personal Facebook because this is a very personal thing. So it's going to be on my personal Facebook profile tomorrow 10 a.m. CST, Texas time, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. Hank, thank you so much, man. That was a lot of fun, and I think super helpful.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. That was really, really cool. Guys, follow Hank. Where do you want people to follow you? Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, I'm all, we're all everywhere, right? Facebook. I'm like an old person, and like the president, I'm still on Twitter. So get at me on Twitter.
Hey, let me ask you something. Politics aside, is President Trump one of the best marketers you've ever met in your life or ever seen in your life?
Dude, he's going to try to respin himself his way out of getting impeached. We'll see, and it's not impossible. We'll see.
Yeah. I think he's one of the best marketers.
Of course he is. He's been doing it his whole life. Now we'll just see how good he is.
Yeah, my God, incredible. Well, thank you guys so much. Follow Hank. Stay tuned for our announcement tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And always, the biggest secret that I have that I'm sure Hank has is give. Just keep giving. Hank is telling you to give your talent on video. Don't be shy. We're saying the same thing. Keep giving. We promise you'll have the highest ROI of your life. Yes, is that fair enough to say, Hank?
Very fair.
All right. Thanks, guys. Peace.